live in a long time, guys. So if you are pretty new to this channel, I want you to like subscribe. What I want you to do is for you to subscribe and we move. Subscribe to this channel now. Let us have this conversation today. I like to include all of you in my little live video here that I do. So yeah. So Liberian people, yeah, hello, my people, my people. I'm still trying to like get out of the heat. It needs to be a little warm here today. Who's watching with a thumbs up? Anyway, somebody is watching with thumbs up. I haven't been live in a long time. Oh my God, since last year. Can you believe that? Hey, Roosevelt, how are you? I hope you're doing good. It's a very beautiful weather here in California today. So let me show you guys my view. I am going to be having lunch in a little bit. So let me show you guys my view. Okay. So you see that nice view up there? That's palm trees. So I'm just out here just waiting. Anyway, so I haven't really been on live in a long time. So for those who are new to this channel, I'm trying to search 5,000. So y'all need to help me. Y'all need to share this video. You need to share my channel, okay? You just comment, whatever you do to support this channel, because we providing more visibility to Liberia and Liberians. So I don't understand why we can't share. But if I came on here and I were bidding to you guys will definitely be sharing it. But I'm not. Hello, watching from London. What are you gonna have? What? Let me see. 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 Why is she from London? What are you going to have, Liberian girl? Okay. So, I wish I was eating Liberian food, but this is the reason why I have a kitchen at my house to be able to cook Liberian food. So at least that's a little plus. So this upcoming week, I want to make some palava sauce and some greens. So my goal is to go to the Liberian store, purchase all of those things, and of course, make the food. Maybe I could share with you guys. I don't know. But this is not the conversation. I want you guys to share this channel and leave a comment and whatever. But the conversation today is very different. And I said dear Liberians for a lot of different reasons. And of course, whenever I'm on my live, people call me and call me and call me and leave text and da 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 da. Since I Anyway, thank you, Robert, for watching from London. I know you support this channel. Thank you so much. And the other viewer, thank you all for tuning in. And we're going to have a very decent conversation today. I've already had breakfast. And so let's get to it. Why you didn't post the name, Stefan? Okay. Okay. So I got a call this morning, and the lady said somebody built their house on the alley. Okay. So, when you purchase land, there are rows within that space. Okay. You have 20 feet. Okay. Because I'm supposed to 20-foot alley. Okay. And then you have 25. On there, you are not to build any house on the road. Because you want passage, you want cars to pass, you want people to walk, you want other people to see the backyard and the front yard, okay? But what we Liberian people like to do is to build in the alley of the land. Please. It is very unacceptable behavior. You need to allow even yourself to be able to drive. So let's find out why you guys tend to build in alleys when you are not supposed to be building there. First of all, if you're confused on your land, how to read your rules and stuff, I would encourage you to find somebody who know how to read your rules on your piece of property. Okay? Do that. Each alley row a yellow mark. That alley means do not build on it. If you hire an engineer, not an engineer from the backyard, okay? Most of you guys hire people who on the street who say, I can build. So you decide you go get people that can say, oh, I can build. Everybody in Liberia can build. Even cornerstone guy engineer, cornerstone engineer can say, oh, I'm an engineer. What have you done? Oh, I've done cornerstone. So they have cornerstone engineers too, okay? So we know everybody in Liberia can build. But make sure you get people who know exactly what they're doing. And when they do know what they're doing, they shouldn't be building in people spaces. Okay? What this is doing when you build on the alley, you are creating problems for your other friends, your other neighbors, potential neighbors. And now they have to make noise with you, which is not acceptable because you are causing this noise. It's going to be giving them time, not saving time for them. It's going to take resources away because now they have to argue with you, even though you intentionally built in the alley. Now it's going to make them want to have a conversation with you. Then you said you don't like it, go to court. You're like people, you're like this thing. You don't like it, go to court. You just built in the road that we are supposed to share. You built there, you're telling me to go to court. This behavior needs to stop. It needs to stop. Okay? How can we build Liberia when we tell people you don't like it, go to court because you're not doing the right thing? It's not okay. Very unacceptable. You are taking resources away from your colleague or your friend or your potential neighbor because now they have to take you to court. And oftentimes that person will get tired. They'll tell you know what, I don't want to build. And guess what, we are going to have cornerstone space for decades and decades. So God, okay, like I told you guys, every day somebody disturbing me, every day. So that person now will have to just keep going back and forth, and or just telling you know what, I'm so tired of this, I'm just gonna not build here. And then all of us, we have a country that has cornerstones, too much grass, and there's not improving because sometimes we are at fault. So please do the best you can to stop building on roads. It is very unacceptable. It is not attractive. It's not good for everyone else who wants to help develop the country. My thing is, recently somebody decided to build on the road heading to my beach property. And if you never see a faucet crew girl before, you found one. Because I'll make sure you take that your house from on the road. And I got time. If you tell me go to court, you already know I got time. We are both going to court. We are both going to present our deeds, and surveyors will come and show who's in the way of my space, and then consequently you will take it down. So for some of you who have experienced this, you give up so quickly, please do not give up so quickly. People intentionally do things, to build things in places they're not supposed to build because they know you would tell them, let's forget it. Like people like to say, let's forget it. Let's forget it. Today we are struggling because everything is let's forget it. So I took this person to the rightful body, and I said, look, the people that can come and do the alleys, the structuring, public works, I wrote a letter. So let me tell you what to do. On this channel, we educate. Okay? I wrote a letter, and you better believe I ran after it until maybe the heel of my boots that I wear on these videos, as you guys can see, the heel probably peel off, but I ran after it. I wrote a letter, and there are a lot of red tips. You write a letter, everybody want cold water. Even if it's too cold, they still want cold water. But some of us not going to get nobody cold water. Okay? So you write a letter and tell them where your property is located, what the issue is. Present your land deed and make sure it's legit, because nobody got time for fake stuff. Then you follow up. What do you mean? You can't understand that, my dear? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't understand? Okay, so anyway, you write a letter to Public Works addressing them about your concerns. Okay, letting them know what the issues are, and do a copy of your deed and what exactly you need them to take a look at. Public Works would then have somebody go to your space and do their own assessment. They will compare both deeds, okay? Your deed and the other person's deed. If, for example, the other person does not present his or her deed, the Public Works will take a look at your deed and do the road assessment and see where the alley falls. Okay. So Public Works sees that, yeah, you are on the alley road. They will issue you a citation to what? Remove your property. Of course, you've already built, you spent so much money because you are so naive. Now you have to remove it. And this is where the problem comes in, because, oh, I paid this much money, that, you'll forget it, sorry, next time. And then your interesting people, you decide, let's forget it. No, we're not going to forget it. So they will mark your place and say you are on the road. Okay, that's the first thing. They will mark your place. And if this individual does not remove whatever they built on that road, what are you talking about? Oh, you don't understand. Okay, got you. If the individual does not remove whatever they built on this road, my dear, you can definitely remove it. But you don't do violence taken by force, okay, my people? I'm just simple English, simple Liberian English. Violence taken by force is sometimes ruin lives. It's not good. So you allow the time they have allocated for this individual to remove their property, and you're patient enough. You let that time fly, okay? When the time goes by, they have not removed it yet, then the next course of action will come into play. So as we speak, somebody built a little ugly fence on my space, on the alleyway, and I did everything else, and we had to take it from there. I'm sorry, but you have to follow through. If you need things to be done in that country, you have to be very consistent. You have to be persistent, because sooner than later you will have heart attack because of these behaviors that are occurring every day, and you will lose on your investment. Do you want to lose on your investment? Absolutely not. Because of somebody's foolishness, unprofessionalism, you don't want to lose on your investment. You want to ensure that you have tried, okay? You don't want to just give up in the middle of the road. Oh yeah, because I don't want headache from this person. So there are, however, some battles you can choose to fight, and then there are other battles you can choose not to fight. In this case, this is my beach property. Somebody built in the alleyway. I cannot even take materials to my land. I had to do something about it. Now, it would have been a little different if the road were clear and then they just maybe encroached on my land. Maybe, I may not. I say, you know what? That's your Christmas gift. If it's like about maybe 2 feet, okay? Now, if you're crossing more than 2 feet, I'm going to go to court, okay? So these are some of the battles I'm talking about we can choose to fight. Okay. So that is my first Dear Liberians. But please share this video so you will get more subscribers on this. So we can get more subscribers. Anywho, my other Dear Liberian thing I want to talk about, other than people building in the wrong places, is other than that is, I need to think about it very closely. Stop making your family members lazy. I wanted to do a separate video on this. I was like, no, I'll talk about this on my life. You enable your family members and they become so dependent on you, and you need to stop. You need to stop. We are some of the most like let me see. Let me try to find the best word to tell you guys. If you look at Africans in the diaspora, okay? Liberians, the income is so low, okay? So low. We don't have much to show because every day our uncle John Paul calls us from Liberia. Oh, I need $50. You send it. Even Sandwave knows your name. MoneyGram knows your name. Western Union knows your name. All the banks knows your name. And then from there, when they finish blocking you, then you calling your friend, can you help me send money? I'm guilty. But it's not even for family members. I don't send family members money. You got my point. You enable your family members, and therefore they don't get off the couch to go look for jobs. You want to stop that. If you continue to feed somebody, how will they feed themselves? And that's fine. We can agree to disagree. Okay? If you continue to put spoon in somebody's mouth, and of course I'm not talking about sickness, how will they pick up spoon to feed themselves? Okay? Recently, somebody contacted me and said, look, my cousin graduated from a solar panel installation school. Do you have work at your company? First of all, I said, oh, she's doing a great job. Because now she's not having this young man rely on her, but she's trying to see how best he can utilize his skills. So if you're not going to look for a job, I'm going to look for a job for you. Okay? Of course, I do my interview process and, you know, everything else that we do in America. I do it, blah, 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 blah. But my point is, if she sits there after he obtained this skill or skills, and she continues to send him money, what becomes of him? What becomes of him? Look, I'm not talking about, you guys are probably, don't mistake this, okay? There are the elderly in Liberia, okay? And then there are the very able in Liberia. I understand maybe my grandmother may not be in that space to do work. I don't mind helping her. That's fine. But when you have family members who are able, and some of them come and tell you the excuse of, oh, and I go at business, oh, and I go at with a market, oh, and I go at table market, oh, and I go at selling things, oh, and I go at this, oh. Because they know very well you will send money. That's my point. You have enabled people to always depend on you. And I'm not saying things are not hard. My story is very different from a lot of you guys' story. I was 7 years old when I had a shop. Okay? But that's because it's my own drive. My mom was in America and she would tell you guys, if you guys were to ask her, I will collect Christmas money. Okay? I will collect Christmas money. Go to my uncle, no, my uncle, give me Christmas money. The next day I'll go to Kaswa Market in Ghana. I will bring it and I started tables. From table to shops. Okay? 9, 10, 11-year-old. I had a big shop. I used to sell kerosene. So you can call my mom and ask her, but unfortunately she don't have time for me. You can always email her. I can share her email with you. You can ask her. Okay? So my story in that regard is different, and that's why I don't like to really depend on people, okay, in that regard, seriously. And my father would tell you guys, before I brought my father to America 6, 7 years ago, I only sent him money twice in my whole life. But before I sent that money to my dad, I told him, Dad, I only send him money twice. This money will help you foster your coaching career, okay? And then whatever you want to do, that your susu you eat, that's all. After this, you on your own. Okay? That is my responsibility as a child is when my dad is old. But as a able, I'm lying. Okay, just that you if you think I'm lying, call my pops. My dad just went to Liberia anyway, but twice before I brought him to America, he would tell you. He did his susu. He became a coach for Denver FC. He said, "Oh, my daughter Emma go to school." Blah blah. I said, "No, it's not just about school. Dad, I'm done with school. But you gotta do things on your own. If my dad is old, my mom is old, I don't mind taking care of them. But when you're an able person, it is not my responsibility. People who know me will tell you I don't feed people. I don't. I empower, but I'm not gonna keep giving you stuff so you cannot empower yourself. Absolutely not. I will give you the tools and you will work for yourself, because this is what we need to do. And you guys are on here giving excuses like, oh yeah, Liberia. I'm not saying Liberia is not hard. Trust me, I lived in Africa before. I didn't come to America when I was a 2-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 15-year-old. No, I didn't come. I came at a later age. So I know how hard it is. But when we continue to enable our relatives, that's up to you. That's your life, but I'm just letting you know it is not serving any good purpose. That's why you have people sitting there, places that they're supposed to walk. They will call you and say, oh, I need transportation so I can take the motorbike. Excuse me? Some of us, we used to walk like 40 minutes to school. 40 minutes in Ghana and Liberia. So you're going to sit there and you mean to tell me you need money for bike? I left Liberia when I was 6. I went to the Ivory Coast. Then I went to Ghana. So you can't tell me about putting water on your head. You can't tell me about going to farm. You can't tell me about eating 1 time a day, even sometimes not eating. Oh, you can't tell me that. But what I'm gonna tell you guys, if you wanna keep enabling your family members, may God bless your heart. But I'm telling you, if you continue that dependency, people depending on you all the time for every single thing, God bless your heart. God really bless your heart. And sooner than later, the same person will tell you, say that $100, $200 you should send me that money. Listen to this very carefully, because it's gonna happen to you. You need to empower people, not to make them dependent on you. My point I'm making here today. If you think that helps a country build up, God bless your heart. I'm not on what's the color StreamYard to add you to this. This is a regular life, so I cannot add you. But if I was doing StreamYard, if you think this conversation is more engaging enough for you to join this, you can join. You can let me know, and then I'll schedule a live where we can all converse. Stop enabling your family members. Empower them. And if they try, they cannot succeed, then we understand. But you every time they turn their neck, oh, I need $2, you send it. They oh, before I do this for you, you need to transport me. When it's even walkable distance? Are you kidding me? So we need to stop enabling laziness. Laziness, okay? It does not help anyone. The person you continue to send money to until maybe they're 50, 60, 70 years old, you're not doing any good for them. And I'm not saying don't send money to your family member. That's not what I'm saying. If you don't even empower them, encourage them to do anything else beyond your $50, $100, $200, $300, $400 you sent, how do they become empowered for themselves? How do they stand for themselves? How do they turn things around? I'll tell you an example. I have an aunt. My grandma loved to send her children money. But that money she sent, she probably washing my stuff here. That money she sent, she like to collect it from where? Us. Her grandkids and her kids. But me, I'm very principle-minded. Some of the jobs in Liberia, oh my God. You have recently, when I went to Liberia, I just hired an architect. I just hired a customer service, just for you to be working from home remotely and emailing, because you know what, they look after it. And then I went to Chorus restaurant. The guy was like, there are positions there, but people don't come and apply. I mean, like, what are you talking about? I would tell you, I would rather earn $100 than to earn $0. Period. So if we continue to have excuses, I understand that it's not a big market for jobs, but there are jobs. There are jobs, because I just hire people in my company. There are jobs. So we want to sit here and say, okay, well, there are jobs in Liberia. May God also bless your heart. For our portrait fund, we had to get someone in Ghana, because Liberians, oh, you know, I can do that work. I can do that work. And then once we train, bro, then more people want to work. So I don't know. I don't know. But if you say there are no jobs in Liberia, God also bless your heart. And you can continue to send your family members money. So anyway, they will always call you for scratch card. They will always call you for transportation. They will always call you so you can pay them school fees. They will always call you if they need to go down the road for motorbike money. They will always call you, and God bless your heart. So my grandmother okay, I'll talk to you more about that. The entertainment center. So at the back, the deck, the back of the entertainment center, we need to have a specific wood. Firestone do not sell that wood any longer. Okay, so I have to get this wood from another place, which is our neighboring country, Ghana. It's good for the water back there. It's a deck that I'm putting over, the design that I'm putting over, that can withstand the that can withstand the water and moisture and all that stuff, because I don't want to redo woodwork on 3 years 5 years from now. I want something long lasting. So that's the process. Once the woodwork is done, once the front what's my call it, I'm going blank, the woodwork in the back is done, and then the landscaping, not much else is done for that to be open. So yes, room was not built in 2 days. I am taking my time to get this that decking area well done, so people can sit down outside. It's not a back porch, it's a deck. There's a difference between a porch and a deck. So because I'm on the water, so I already have a retaining wall, and I need to have a deck for chairs to be there so people can see the water. So that's a deck. Anyway, so you guys are making me animated, because I guess when you go to Liberia 3 times a year and you see things on the ground, you speak on it, and people who probably don't even go back once a year think they know. It's very puzzling to me. Anyway, my grandmother who watch my channel all the time, she knows I'm saying this true. She liked to send money to her kids, but before she sent the money, she asked her grandkids and her other kids in America. So I told her, I said, Grandma, if this money I'm giving you is to send it to your children, I'm sorry, I cannot give it to you. Oh, you know, I'm just asked, okay, what you want to buy? Oh, Emma, I just want to get some stuff for myself. I said, okay, I'll go to the store and buy it and bring it to your house. Oh, you know, I can do it myself. No. I will order it and send it to your house. That way, if you want to go exchange and send the money to your children, God bless your heart, Oma. But I'll do my part, and I make you enable your children. Finish. So one day, the Oma got tired. The Oma got very tired. And when the Oma got tired, she said, Emma, you know, I'm tired of sending money. So I said, okay, what are you going to do? Your children always need money. So she said, oh, I told your auntie Siedi, you know, to start small little market. And I said, what she say? Siedi said she not go at business. I said, oh, she not go at business. She not go at selling anything at all in her whole life. Oh, you know, she said she not go at business. I said, but what she go at? She go at calling you for money, right? Very good customer service skills. Oma, getting on the phone and calling the Oma to convince her is the same way you can convince customers to buy. But she said she not good at business. So my grandma said, okay, since she not good at business, she can sit down. When it came, when the Oma stopped sending her money, my people, the Oma jump out. She said she gonna go work somewhere else. She wanna go find a job. She started what? Teaching. When the going get tough, you would know. So for you guys who think, oh yeah, you know, there's no job, and I want to keep sending my people money because you want to allow it. So the Oma said, okay, you're not good at business. I can force you. The Oma decided she will go teach. So she's teaching. It's just simple as it is. It's very, very simple as it is. But if she kept sending that money, that Oma would never say, let me go find some other job. Your house is paid for. You don't pay mortgage. Your kids are in school. The Oma is paying for your kids. So why you want to tell me to, if I give you a bed, I should give you a pillow, I should give you a husband, I should give you a wife? Oh, hell no. I will not enable anybody in my family like that. And that's okay. You can be mad all you want. That's your business. But I'm going to empower you to feed yourself and feed your family. I will not take my money for you to go and get the bed and get the man, and then I'm going to buy the pillow when I finish buying you the bed. No. So, dear Liberian, one, stop building in alleys. And two, start enabling your family members. You get that? Let me read the chat. You guys are too funny. You're asking me if I'm in what position. Okay, let's see. If you want to ask my mom, you can always ask her, and she will tell you. You have to show tough love for we Liberians to change. Tough love. We don't like soft people. We don't like nice. We don't like people who nurture. We like we like people that like violence, take it by force. But that's not effective at all. It is not. It doesn't help. But sometimes in our Liberian setting, that is what they love. That's why today when you see Mary, bro, take this example. When you see Mary, bro, and people say I like Mary, bro leadership, she's tough. And when she can't, she calls them, she tell them what to do, they're running. But come on, woman, come let me know. Oh my people, let us get trash bag and clean our neighborhood and do it. Look at it one here. Who you think you are? That's exactly why it's good to be tough. Are you people? Oh Lord have mercy. You don't mind me today on this live. I haven't been here for a long time. I disagree. Okay, that's fine. You can say that again because someone built their cornerstone exactly on my land, but invisible cornerstone because I'm building my fence at the moment, so the cornerstone will disappear. Exactly. It's great. Hard love is necessary, but opportunities are limited in Liberia. I'm not disputing that we don't have the opportunities that we need to have, okay? I'm also not disputing that there are opportunities and that we need to go and look and do the best we can. What they say to go to a company and say, you know what, these are my skills. The least they can tell you, oh, there's no job here. But after you finish graduating from college, just in and then job will come to you. Even in the America you live, or where I live in the US at the moment. Do you think jobs work to me? A lot of what I did and the position that I've been is because of networking. Reach out to this person, hey, you know, this is my resume, or even how can I help you? So that when you help them and when you need a favor, you can go back to somebody else. Job don't walk to you. You gotta go and see where the jobs are. So if you've tried, you can say, yeah, I've tried. I've checked. And do you guys think only government jobs? Or perhaps only jobs in Liberia? Do you know where my editor is on my YouTube channel? He is in Rwanda. Do you know the marketing business that I established in Rwanda? They are in Rwanda. Students. So you want to tell me you can outsource your skills on Upwork if you're a graphic designer in Liberia? Oh, come on. Don't give me excuses, please. That's ridiculous. There are people that outsource their skills out of wherever they are. And the same is very, very applicable to Liberians. But only us, we like to give excuses. Excuses, sit on our couch and let people to feed us. No, no, no. Let's stop that. Okay, let's stop that. Even customer service work. Some of my stuff I used to do here, I used to outsource to the Philippines. Tell me, you don't think Liberians can do that? You don't think they can set up and do that? You don't think a Liberian architect can go and outsource their skill on Fiverr, on Upwork, and say, I can design? You don't think a voice over person in Liberia can do that on Upwork to put their skills on there? You don't think they can reach out to people on LinkedIn? Do you know how I found one of my supervisors? He actually contacted me and said, look, I am young. I lost my parents in the war. I need scholarship to the US. And I said, I can't help you with that, but I can help you mentor you. That was LinkedIn. The young man didn't go to college to go sit there. He contacted me. And I have taken upon myself to mentor him in ways that today unimaginable. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, Liberia don't have opportunities. Liberia have opportunity outside. Web design. Even if you went to cosmetology school, you can put packages together. Oh, come on, don't give me that excuse. Everybody can be entrepreneurs. But if you need a job, you'll find a way. If you need to eat, you will find food to eat. If you need money, you will go find something that will give you money. But we wait for government jobs just to steal. Just to steal and steal and steal. That's it. So everybody look for jobs that only 2% of people can have. That's, you know, so that's the problem. Don't forget, like bro, we're talking about, I know. I don't want you to forget. I'm a 1990 war child. I was born during the war. My mom was in Maryland and had to be covered with thatches. She had to be covered with trees, with leaves. Her brother dug a hole, put her in while she was pregnant for me, and she covered up because she was running from rebels. I felt trauma while in my mom's belly. Do you get that? And when I was born, I lived in Grand Crew County, That's where I used to walk to Backleville at the age of freaking 3. I know what Liberia is. I have experienced all of it. Let me just tell you guys, I have experienced all of it. So today, I still seek trauma counseling and therapy. Do you get that? Because somebody used, oh, well, it was the one, you were in your mom's stomach, and others that when you have detachment, not attached to your parents, that's a form of trauma that you take with you. So for you guys who think, oh, because I want this channel, so I don't have experience, or I'm not Liberian. I am 100% Liberian. You guys not talk about Liberia all the time. I experience Liberia in forms that you probably unimaginable. Okay? But the truth is the truth. We see that the country is poor and struggling, but that don't mean we can lift ourselves. Other people from different countries does it. Are they rich? Huh? Nigeria is one of the most corrupt countries, but when you meet them, they're just so eager to tell you, I can't born poor and die poor. And of course, there are other ways that they do that. I'm not a big fan. When somebody can go and go and go and go and thrive to be better, it's okay, regardless of their circumstances. So, but if we want to keep giving excuses, like I said, may God help us all. So, if you've never taken anything away from here, they always say, how you beat your drum is how people are going to dance. So if you feel like no jobs in Liberia, so you will sit some money, you go to a Thai shop and go argue a whole day of something you don't even get benefit. Instead of being creative, you sitting with somebody, you just try to be a creative person. You can do that. I have a friend. He's not a chef, but he cooks. Guess what? We talked. He's like, I go to hotel and then I say I can cater for them. He did it the first time. Great. Second time, great. Got referral. Now he caters for hotels. That's not his job to be a chef. But you got the drift. You guys want to sit here and give excuses for our people, but that's your business. You see, farming, we have land. Some of us used to go to Bakleve on the farm at young age, 4-year-old, 5-year-old. We doing rice planting. But in Liberia today, you ask people who even 40-year-old, why are going to agriculture for? Why are going to debt for? Excuse me? When we cannot even feed ourselves. The man say I'm Ghanaian. I rest my case. I don't think I'm gonna answer to you again going forward. Now that comment made me laugh. That's funny. Okay. Family members in Liberia are very lazy and entitled. We're the ones that are able to absolutely, and I'm not saying all, but majority of them are, and we enable. We really do enable, and it's sad. It's really sad. It's sad, and sometimes people have to learn it the hard way. This person said, I got name of people. My whole crew need Dre. I speak Kolokwa to you every day. You can't look at me and say, I got name. You okay? Don't come and me slap you to the phone, yo. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I have the same motto. It says, you have no reason to lie to us. It's your spot on exactly. What age, please? What are you talking about? Please tell me some of the jobs in Liberia right now. I just listed a few of them. Still waiting to hear back. Okay, people from other neighboring countries come to Liberia with nothing and make something or something and say only the native Liberians who are lazy and full of excuses is exactly what people telling me right here on this thing. I think people only think when they talk about job, it has to be government job. Exactly, we rely so much on government jobs. Now, let's say if I'm in a position, what would I do? My own man who live in America for God knows how many years will tell you. In Ghana, we had about 11 people in our house. Think about it. The one good thing I never did when I was growing up was I never cooked because I had aunties, so many aunties. And my grandma said, the only thing Jide can do, that's my crew need Jide. The only thing Jide can do, Jide is to go to school, and that's it. That's all my grandma always says. So she's cooking now for Emma. You're the old one in the house. You will take turn to cook. She'll go to school. She will learn that all she will do. And then on Saturday we'll wash. But in a house where we're only 11 people, my mom used to send us $100 per month. You do the math. You have 11 people living in a house. You send $100 per month. You tell me how sustainable that is. That's why at 7 years old, I had to get my own water market, okay? And I used to get my own lunch from that water market, okay? Because at the end of the day, I ain't waiting for no $100. I always appreciate my mom. To this day, I always appreciate it because without that, some of us wouldn't be thriving. We wouldn't see that, oh no, that's not something I want to live up and go do better for myself. So until you decide you want better for yourself, you keep giving excuses. Is that in a position? First of all, when I was in that position, when we didn't have much, my dear, I went to do my own water market instead of calling my mom for money. Yeah, that was very important. What's this person saying? Okay. Okay, so please read the chat. My family librarian saying, oh yeah, of course. That's why the first thing they ask for is smartphone. So they can get on the internet and harass us for money with their plenty stories. And you know, it's fascinating to me. It's so fascinating to me that my brother who calls me for money, who of course I don't send money until he does work for me, has a brand new iPhone. And I said to myself, there's this young man always, oh, EJ, Jide, you have to help your brother. I say, hey, I have a piece of job. Go do the job, then you will get paid. That's just what it is. It's a contract. You don't do my piece of job, I don't pay you. You know, my siblings, they have come to realize the only time maybe we help each other when we old financially, of course. But as it stands, no sibling will get any money from me if I know they can do things themselves. If you cannot, because maybe you're a baby, then I will do that for you. But until then, you will do stuff for yourself, just like I have done stuff for myself since I was very young. Okay? So, alright. You guys are cracking me up with your comments, but yeah, keep on coming. They ask for smartphone. Yeah, everything they want to be on internet. My father, before he went for the library recently, he said, EJ, I got a Facebook go. I said, that why? He said, I'm too tired. I'm too tired of those people not harassing me. I said, oh, I see. I'm glad you know. Ah, yeah. So choose sick and you shall find. Yep. Can we make an appointment in the chat? Okay, sure. I'm not a Ghanaian, so let me just skip that. I'd like to buy some farmland in your country. Okay, there are farmland everywhere. That is very true. Farming and fishing should be some of our top priorities. My uncles them in Grand Creek County, they used to go to the sea, bring fish for our house and also to sell. But these days, my God, you tell these people like farming and fishing, they look at you that's just like it's like a foreign concept. It's troubling. Um. Oh my God, you guys are crack me up. Okay, me and my family will be getting into farming and fishing. Can't wait. Absolutely build Liberia. Yes, fish farming is a good one too. I have some friends that does it in Nigeria. Hello, Em. Just so you're alive. Hello, Verna. How are you? I'm building many ideas. You keep your excuses. If you don't believe you will be left behind, the new Liberia is coming soon. Thank you, my dear. I just wanted you to calm down. I'm already down. I'm sitting in my chair, my guy. We all did it, but in Liberia, most Liberians are too used to free things. See, but that's why we talk about, the country that gives us aid. We didn't get aid, so our road didn't get done. We didn't get aid, so we don't have agriculture. We're not producing. We didn't receive aid, so we don't have, we cannot sell our agriculture product. How does a country with sufficient land space to farm still import chicken eggs? Still import peppers? Let's start with peppers. As a person who has a poultry farm, I can understand the work that comes along with a poultry. But let's talk about pepper. How long do you think it takes to grow peppers? But we import it. We import onions. We import a lot. So you want to tell me the great United States will come and produce pepper in your backyard? Maybe you want to talk about the tools. Oh, I don't have tools. Some we like excuses. Let me find some excuses. I don't have tools. Emma, I just don't have tools. And Emma, I just don't have staff. And Emma, I have the land, but I just don't want to go to that county. We just try to find the best possible excuses ever as to why we cannot do something. But the key to success is risk. Taking risk to say, I don't know, I'm just going to try. And when you fail, you re-strategize and try again. But we just sit, make excuses. Do you think you need heavy equipment to plant peppers? Huh? You don't. But we still import into the country. We still don't have food. In Grapefruit County, when I lived in Grapefruit County, we used to plant our own grapefruit. Like we go to our grapefruit, and then we planted potato greens, edibles, cassava, and so we always have food. We always have food. But now you tell somebody in Maury, oh, go find let me go get myself that. But yet you're sitting there hungry, maybe waiting for someone to send wave you until they get blocked. But we want to sit in the diaspora and think that is okay. It is not okay. We want to empower our people. We want to empower our people. Even if you're not a farmer, I'm not a farmer. That's why you go and seek those who already have the experience at doing this stuff. What is it to say, let me consult with your service? Maybe I want to start with 5 acres of land. Some of you have land all over the place, okay? I want to start with 5 acres of land. Let me do soil testing. Let me talk to somebody in the agriculture space. We don't even network within our communities. We compete, unnecessarily compete. Competition is good, but we unnecessarily compete. Instead of reaching out to many of you have reached out to me about poultry farm, and maybe your fear is, oh, she's not gonna share. But guess what? Of all of you who've asked me about poultry farm, I have shared. I have not collected 1 penny from you. I have shared. But the reason why most of you guys don't get started, fear and the willpower to execute. That's why a lot of you guys get this information from me and you just don't utilize it. The information is free. Most time to consult and do this is money, but you don't call me and I told you did what you do. You have not done anything. You have not even moved your foot because of fear. Some of us use YouTube University to learn, and we take some of the best content, do further research, and put it into practice. And don't be afraid to take risk. All the rich people you see in this life, they took risk and they continue to take risk. Only people who fear success do not take risk. Because every time you try something, you feel miserably, you've learned something. Every time you try something and it doesn't work, well, we don't. But we want to complain, get this. Until the closet of excuses get full, and then we sit and do nothing. Nothing. So, dear Liberians, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And people who are not even from Liberia, Verna is clapping because Verna is not even from Liberia. But this woman is so eager to put her footprint in Liberia. One for herself and also to empower those in the community that she's looking to reach. So she's clapping because she's not a farmer. She's a nurse. But guess what? She's looking into the agriculture space. That's why she's clapping, because it's a risk associated with anything we do in their life that we want to be successful. You reach out to people, you network. People who are into farming. If I tell you a list of people in my network that are into farming, you'll be shocked. And guess what? They're in Kenya, they're in South Africa, they're in Liberia, they're in Ghana. Because if I don't know, they're my good point to reach for knowledge. What is if somebody consult with you? You give them all the ideas. You just send them like $25 and say, you know what, you can have coffee. That's what it is. So next time the person is encouraged to help you. But we don't even think outside the box. So we as a country, especially by 2030, we will have more people that are hungry because we're not producing food. 2030 is knocking at our doors. The population will increase and we won't have much food. But then we have the land space in a place such as Liberia, and we are not even producing to feed ourselves. Think about it. Our families were doing farming before, but we as young generation, we say family is not attractive. Do you really think millionaires care about what's attractive? I don't think so. The richest man, one of the richest men in this country is Bill Gates. He owns the most farmland in this country. Is he a farmer? He's a tech guy. Technology. But he goes to the farm because you know what? There are a lot of things we need in this life. But we need food, we need water, we need shelter, we need a place and sense of belonging. So when somebody owns a farmland and are into agriculture, they will be planting and providing food for themselves and providing food for more people. That is the point. Ah, Lord have mercy. But anyway, how does my dear Liberian turn to preaching? I'm very passionate about this country. As you guys know, some of you guys know, I go to Liberia 3 times a year for my own businesses and to see how I can really impact the younger generation. Whether it's mentoring, I mentor a lot of people. I don't need to, this is a part of it I don't expose on my channel, but I mentor them because you know why? True love is when you can give it. It's not when you can receive it, it's when you give it. And people feel empowered to then empower the next person. It becomes a ripple effect. It go over, it go like this, and it circle around. People become better that way. I'm not perfect by any means. I am not. Absolutely not. But how you feel better by yourself, true happiness, is when you can impact others. That's true happiness. That really is true happiness. So, well, I live in California, in the beautiful California. Let me show y'all right now. I'm sitting in my vehicle here because I just had some nice food, and you see, I love the palm trees, and of course the house is up there. I am currently in Glendale, but I live in Pasadena, California. Let me get my charger because my phone's about to die. But that's my second Dear Liberian conversation. Okay, that man don't own no farmland. Go look it up then. If you don't own farmland, go look it up. At least you'll do research for yourself. You know, knowledge is power. So once you do your own, once you do your own research, at least you would know. Let's start this vehicle. You see, there you go. So, I mean, to basics, okay? That's my dear Liberian story. My other dear Liberian, my other dear Liberian, hmm, Bill Gates owns the most farmland. I'm telling you what I need to tell you, but you can go and read for yourself. Get back to the soil. You have the land space, produce your own food, manufacture. These are some of the things that drives GDP. And you wonder why your country is this and that when you can actually make the impact. It's actually troubling. So stop enabling people. That's my second point. The first point is stop building in the alleyways and stop enabling people. Okay. The other aspects of Dear Liberian, this is a series, is it does not hurt to network with your fellow Liberians. It does not. Dear Liberians, it does not hurt to network. Nobody's stealing your ideas. Even if people are stealing your ideas, they don't only have one Walmart in America. They have Walmarts all over the place. I don't live in PA. I live in California, the great state of California. Um, and it does not hurt to network. If you feel like maybe if you tell me your ideas, I will steal it. If your idea is good, let me be honest, I will steal it and I'll make it my own. But guess what? It's good to have competition. They have Amazon store and then Walmart then say, oh no, Amazon's stealing my business. Let me have similar concepts that Amazon does have. And there's a what? Good competition. So Amazon what provides convenience? Walmart said, oh no, I need to provide convenience. Okay? So it becomes an attractive competition. And you know what it does? It provides jobs. I don't agree with some of the employment practices, but my point is that it's benefit somehow to that competition. Okay? So do not be afraid to network even outside of the Liberian community. There are people with different skills, different abilities, just different things to offer. So we need to get out of our own bubble of thinking, oh, if they have one poultry farm here, oh, am I afraid? Oh no, Verna is gonna have a poultry farm in this. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, no, you should be encouraged to have better strategies. Yeah, I know them. I know them. Yeah, I know this company. Have you ever seen? Yeah, I have. I just follow them on Instagram. I follow what they do with the chocolate and all that. So yes, very well. If Verna is gonna have a poultry farm in Bassa, for example, and I have one in Bummy, my next thing is trying to do one in Kakata. I want to be what effective, and I'll be what employing more people. I'm contributing to the society. So whether she has 10,000 poultry farm all over the country, I am making what an impact. Business secrets must be kept in order to profit. When I wouldn't necessarily say I disagree and or fully agree to that, okay? It's not so much so that I am simplifying all my strategies, but it's okay to welcome competition, you know? But you go to the Jewish community, they help each other out. First of all, they need to make sure that that Jewish person right there got that job first before an outsider. You go to the Armenian. This is where I'm at in Glendale. The population here in Glendale is about 92 plus more percentage of Armenians. When I first moved here, living in this Glendale area, I was like, hmm, everything here is owned by Armenians. Hmm. These jobs, you go to the Mercedes shop, every Armenian drive Mercedes because you know what? They hook each other up. They work together. You have apartment complex, 99.9% people living there, they're Armenians. So they help each other, they help grow each other businesses. But then let's come to our communities. We are scared. We want, and we're not even rich. You're not even a billionaire, but you're afraid because somebody might make $1,000. It is not a healthy thing to do. And we've seen it over and over. It's not it doesn't yield success. So dear Liberians, it doesn't hurt to network. I'm actually thinking about setting up a networking group uh, of mostly business individuals, or even entrepreneurs, aspiring, those who are already in the space, or those that are just looking to obtain knowledge. I'm just crafting it out, man. I have no idea when it's going to be live. There you go. Absolutely, we do have the same problem in the U.S. and it's just a black community thing. You come to California specifically. Let me just tell you guys right now. They have Koreatown, they have Thai Town, they have Japanese Town, they have Chinatown, and they have Armenian Central, which is Glendale. And then when you go to where I live, Pasadena, that's what they call old money. They have old money full of white people. And then you go to Filipino town. I don't know. I have not seen. I have not seen one Ethiopian town, one Liberian town. I just have not, because you know what? We are just not together. We are not together. We always think somebody's here out to fight us. We don't like competition. They have Ethiopian restaurants, but I don't see no Ethiopian town. Um, we are just not there, and this has been an age-old problem. Where do they have Ethiopian town? I have a friend who is actually an Ethiopian, but I don't necessarily. I have not. Maybe you can direct me where, but they don't have a specific place. I know there's a spot in Oregon that they have, but like restaurants, small little businesses. But I'm talking about like a whole influence, a place where you can go. The properties are all, you know, this group of people, and it's thriving. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about thriving, and predominantly people in that area is predominantly X, Y, and Z. They are helping each other to cultivate wealth. They're helping each other to cultivate growth. They're helping each other to move forward and progress. That's exactly what I'm speaking about. So, let me see. My aunt is in her 80s and raising chickens and farming yam with young men helping her in Jamaica. There you go. There you go. Feeding maybe her little community at a time. I'm in lots of business, but also much conflict, sadly. Yeah, between those individuals. But where I am right now is called Glendale, California. If you look it up, everything in this place is everything owned by Armenians. Everything. My friend Alyssa, she's Armenian, even though she lives in Pasadena where I live. But this is one of the things, because they are a small country, she says, in terms of population. They try to stick within and try to bring growth within. I'm not against that. Some people find that as to be very racist or whatever it is. I am not against that. And I think people should do that more. So anyway, that's a different topic for another day. Um, uh, the Ethiopian area. Okay. Okay, I was just in Liberia. I helped my farmers harvest some beautiful garbage. Oh, it didn't take a long time to grow either. You see? There you go. There you go. I'm sure it was good, huh? Did you cook it? My husband is from California. Very true. Got Ethiopian. Wait, yeah, I got Ethiopian. All right, there's Ethiopian area thousands. I'm about to go to the jail, just playing around, but everything is. You have a good day, Sam. That's why we need to change. Liberia will be taken over. Yes, by the Chinese and the Lebanese, although they are also taking parts of Africa. That's the reason why when you go to Oh God, have mercy, oh, have mercy. Some of the areas in Liberia ran by Chinese and Lebanese, and of course, I am not against people going to certain areas and legitimately starting businesses. I am not, because of course I do the same, try to diversify my portfolio so I'm not only stuck doing a non-medical home care in California, nor non-medical home care business in California, nor only going to Ghana to do real estate, going to Rwanda to do marketing, and not trying to put my foot in Kenya. That's all good. That's all good. But when you go to a specific place where you know you have so much advantages and make the people there feel like not even seen, is what we don't need to promote. You go to a Lebanese place, just or a Lebanese store in Liberia, listen carefully how to talk to the staff. Just listen carefully. And just come back and tell me if you like how they talk to the staff. Like they're not even human. Okay? But because the thing is, I mean, there are other reasons, but uh, some of you guys who are giving excuses, what choice do they have? Right? What are the options? What are the competitions? Well, what's there? Okay, so as part of this Dear Liberian series, I just want to say thank you guys for joining this live. I haven't been on here for a minute, and it really has been a pleasure. But honestly, this whole land, the alleyway thing, it needs to stop. And I have a bonus. I have a bonus thing to give to you guys, but after I have wrapped up this segment, cut. First point, don't be Alex, okay? The second point is don't enable your family members. You have to empower them. The third point is it does not hurt you nor kill you to network amongst yourselves or others that are like-minded like you. It doesn't hurt at all to do that. And no, it's actually really it's sad. When I went to do my hair, not of course my short hair, but when I went to get braids, when I was in Liberia, I went to Liberia last year. I went to Liberia 3 times. So I was in Liberia, January, February. I came back. I went back in May, and then from there I went back in November. So anyway, the December February trip, that's when I went to a Chinese salon. Can you imagine Chinese salon? And I went there, and the owner, who then they told me was a Chinese, but all Liberian breeders, you stupid girl, don't do it. I'm like, huh? Excuse me, sir? Why exactly are you cursing your staff? Oh, sorry. I said, you're only saying sorry because I'm a customer. Assume I was working here, you would curse me too. Of course, I'm not going to be working there. But you would be cursing me too. And it is only right to speak up because how you are talking to these people here is not, oh, don't talk too much, oh, because I don't want him to let me go. I said, excuse me, I'm not talking on behalf of you, I'm talking on behalf of what he's saying. Does it make sense, first of all? And secondly, you don't talk to people like that. If you are late, there is a disciplinary action that needs to be taken. If he has a handbook, if he's smart enough to have a handbook, it will say if you're late, third, tidy, to whatever, how many times. This is the consequence of that. You don't curse, you can't curse you out while I'm even here. And even when I'm gone, he can't do that. I can't go to China and be like, ni hao ma, wo hen ha, and be cursing people. No. So he can't do that. Okay? He can't do that in this space while I'm sitting here. But in fact, If I hear him again, I'll walk out of here and he can go take me to court. Oh, I'm sorry. You calm down. You calm down and stop cursing. But go to China and go do that. And you will see, I went to Xiamen, which is the port city. When you do business in China, most people will go over there because they do business. Go there. If you go to China, China is actually really dark. Most places they're so secretive. A lot of places are very enclosed. So for you to say you cracking your mouth to say to your lips to say something, good luck. So you go over here to this foreign country to do business. The best thing you can do is to be humble and gentle. But he will curse because he feels they have no option. What options are we providing? What options are we providing? A Liberian person open company and try to and motivate people. The first thing people call me, first of all, when people call me about construction company, they ask me, "Oh, Emma, so do you have Ghanaian working for you?" And I know why they ask. There's already perceived that they're better builders. Instead of wanting to know the work and how it will be executed, the leadership that come along with it, and how good it looks, the first thing they ask me if I hire Ghanaians, if I hire Nigerians within the company. Some of them I say, no, just like 100% of them, no, no, no. But when I tell them I have one Ghanaian guy, his name is Kabina. Oh, okay, okay, will work. It's sad. It's sad, but the conversation is a it gets deeper. It gets deeper. But so anyway, we need to provide opportunities. If we say there are no jobs in Liberia, what opportunities are we providing? Are we some of those that will sit on the couch and say, well, there's no money in the country? Well, Lebanese men will tell you, say, I made $1 million last year in Liberia. Will you believe it if he told you that? But you sit and you say there's money. Perhaps what kind of business are you doing that you will say there's no money? The bonus is dear Liberians start making excuses. Ah, let's get serious. If you don't clean your backyard, don't go to any other person's backyard and tell it's dirty backyard. If you cannot be an impactful person in your country, be quiet. Stop giving stop giving excuses, saying, "Oh, there's no money in that country. Then they don't have jobs. There's so many people there, and they're always gonna take money from me. I can't go over there because it's just sometimes there's no excuse, right? Even breathing, even saying the LIB, Liberia, those 3 letters, it makes people can give you excuses. The excuses can be in the form of, uh, to even say that from Liberia. We need to stop giving excuses and be the change agent that Liberia needs. I was in Italy, and there are places in Italy you're going. You're like, excuse me, that Italy is dirty like that? Huh? I went to Rome. I was like, Rome, is this dirty? It wasn't ignorance. Okay, it's not that I don't read. I read all the time. I research all the time. But the reason I didn't think Rome was dirty at all is because of what they show. When you go on any media platform and type in Italy, you only see beauty. Because you know why? They market it this way. You talk to Italians, say, ciao, ciao bella. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. But when you go to the place, oh, I'm having a heart attack. Oh, oh. But these people talk great things about the country, and they publicize all of these great things. I have not met one Italian that said, I don't want to go to Italy. In fact, they don't even want to leave from there. But some of you might say, well, Italy is developed. But my point I'm making here is that when you go to Rome, you will be like, this place is dirty, it's bad. But they don't show that to you because they want you to go there, be encouraged to even do business there. And as a person with an American passport, the opportunities to do business in Italy, they're just off the roof. Especially in the area of real estate with the American passport, regardless if you black or not. Once you have the American passport, you can do business. But they make it so conducive for you to want to be there. Everything is so in this case, all things that glitters in Italy is gold. Okay? All things that glitter is gold. They make things so good. They make things sound so good. It makes you wanna go. But when you talk to a Liberian and what they do is discourage you of everything known to man on earth. Excuses. They're so quick to talk negatively about the country. I saw a property to an African American young lady. She lives in Texas. She finally said, Emma, I'm going to Liberia in March. First time. She went to Nigeria before. She's going to Liberia to go check out the land that she has within our community development. And, we're talking about how she can use my car. She can rent my car and my driver and try to put her in contact with people that will help make her trip smooth. And then she said, I have a Liberian friend who said I shouldn't go to Liberia. And I'm really troubled. I'm very, very troubled by that. So I said, okay, what your friend said? Oh, she said, if I were you, I wouldn't go right now. I wouldn't go at all. I should not right now. I wouldn't go at all. But you know what she said? But I'm going though. My thing is, what satisfaction did she get to tell this young woman not to go to Liberia? I mean, what kind of satisfaction did she get? She doesn't love herself. That's the first thing. She doesn't love her country. And I guarantee you that person who said that to her never been to Liberia in the last 15 years. I guarantee you. In the last 15 years, they have not been to the country. But they'd be the first to say, oh, don't go there. Don't go to that place. Why did you even buy property there? Oh, we got to do better. Just because it didn't work for you, don't mean you discourage other people from exploring and having their own opinions about the place. If the house doesn't sell you, the street will never buy you. If you don't sell your country as X, Y, and Z, no customers. If you polish it like Italy, the beautiful Italy that is portrayed on the media, people want to explore. But if you tarnish based on your own experience, you have said 19 people won't want to go there. We got to be the change maker. So I talk about community development, community development, community development, community development. It's not because I don't have no time on my hands. No, or I have all the time on my hand. No. I actually don't have all the time on my hands. Most time I don't actually have time. But when you can develop, you see a different layout, a different outlook. You bring jobs to those surrounding the place. You change the exterior of the place. You start to give it like a facelift. That's what some of these communities are about. Structure, jobs within the place, decency, comfort, all these things. That's what we all need when we go back. That's the movement. So your contribution could be something else. Doesn't have to be community building. It could be maybe even purchasing 500 acres of farmland and giving you this idea now you can take it rather than now. Get acres of land and lease acres for people to farm. And you produce food. And try to read more about export, not even abroad, but even neighboring countries. How to export it. And when you do that, even if you fail the first time, you try again. You go to Sierra Leone, you go to the Ivory Coast, you create that space. It could be janitorial services. It could be manufacturing. When I spoke with somebody on my networking group recently, he's a Ghanaian guy. He said we're going to Liberia to form a uniform factory because students wear uniform. And I thought to myself, huh, but guess what? He's a Ghanaian. Y'all gonna buy it. Y'all gonna buy it for your kids. Y'all gonna buy it for your kids because they need to wear those uniforms. But that Ghanaian man will get that money, pocket it, and because Liberians themselves don't even find value within such a business because we are so used to being negative. But don't get me wrong, though, according to science, our brain tend to be very negative. That's the first thing. But what you do is to kind of reprogram your mind so you're not negative. You can program your mind to where positive thing lives in your mind instead of being negative. That's what you can start to do. It's a gradual process. So why do I have the heater on in this car now? Although it's cool outside. Okay, I'm done of it. I'm in control. Okay. So we don't need to be too negative here, guys. A little positive thing you can do is just, my mom always saying, this is an old saying, if you don't got nothing nice to say, even if your heart is burning to say negative thing about life, but just, it helps a lot. It really helps a lot to be quiet. Yes, definitely. I'll be adding to the networking group. It's something that I'm gradually developing. A young man from Germany. He's Liberian, but he's doing his military duties in Germany. And I met with him when I live in Oregon, and he's like, Emma, why, you've talked about this. Why can't you do it? Guys, if I really had all the time, I would. But it's something I have to study, like how I want to like put it together. But that's a networking group I'm going to be putting together. Finishing soon. Okay. Well, I hate to hear that you are right. There are no real options. No options, my dear. Even no options. I was talking to a Liberian guy who owns a hotel in Banga, and he was telling me how expensive it is. Hotels are very expensive in Liberia. And I asked him, I said, so what do you think will reduce pricing? He said, we have other hotels, then it will be competition and people will reduce the price. I said, so then why do you think prices are high? No competition. I said, okay, thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page. You don't have options. You only are left with the one you have. Therefore, you have to go with it. So if we had competition and options, who's bluffing? Nobody's bluffing. Because if I don't like your business, you know how it is in America. If I don't like this restaurant, I'm gonna go to another restaurant. In Liberia, if I don't like this material store, oh God, I probably have to go way far away to get. I'm over exaggerating, but you don't have the option. You get me? So we just don't. We don't. People talk about customer service, but there's a root cause to all of it. There's a root cause. As an owner, if I know it's very important to have a good customer service, I will. But if I know you have no option but to buy from me, why would I train my staff? Help me make it make sense. Why would I train my staff to provide excellent customer service when I know you have no option, no other option? Because if the customer service was impacting you so much as a customer, You go elsewhere. But where's the elsewhere? There's no elsewhere. So you have no choice but to go there. Do you get me? So there's a root cause to all of it. Um, I saw a demeaning video about that in Ethiopia with Chinese Arab. No respect given. Not at all. No respect. Absolutely not. It happened in what's it, Zimbabwe or the Gambia? No, Zimbabwe. One of those Z's. Zambia, Zimbabwe. One of them. It happened there. It continues to happen on the continent. Um, because we let them do this to us. Yes. Now that it's getting too hot in this car, guys. Yeah, excuse me. Let me take off my coat. Ah, um, we allow mistreatment because we feel there are no options, and perhaps there are no options. So we allow people to treat us how they treat us. When I go to the store, yeah, Indian man talking to the cashier, "Oh, you get in the hurry, man, that stupid thing," da, da, da," and they try to talk like Liberian. I just crack up. And then you talk to the sister and brother, say, my dear, what kind of option I have? I don't know where else to go look for work. And I try to educate them a little bit more, try to redirect them to resources. But when somebody feels like they have no other option, whether it's miserable or not, they stay within it. We move. Let's see. Let's see here. That's how they act in their countries, and the country they are in need to have laws against. No, absolutely. In Ghana, there if you have a business established in Ghana, you need first of all you need to hire 99% of Ghanaians. You cannot. The only foreigner of that business needs to be the manager. You can be a manager or the owner of the business, but any you can bring staff from wherever you want to. No, 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 99%. And guess what? It's enforced. They will audit your business and make sure you are abiding by that. So yeah, laws can be in place, but are they enforced? The problem isn't laws. I tell people like Brett's problem isn't laws. The laws are there. They are there. But who's enforcing them is the $1 million question. Ah, that's the hard love the Chinese Lebanese are giving the Liberians. Exactly. I was wondering how Lebanese treat Africans in the country since they're all over Africa. My dear, the first are the people when you listen to them, they already think that you're a slave. You'll be very surprised when you speak to people from that side of town, how they see you. That's just what they think. That's exactly what they think. My really good friend Katya, her dad is actually Lebanese. Her mom is Greek and Congolese. Her mother was from Congo, and her father was from Greece. They'll pass away now, of course. So she married a Lebanese man. So she's Greek and Congolese, but she take more of the African side. She can call me, oh, my African daughter. I say, oh yeah, my African mom. But she married a Lebanese. The only difference with Katya's dad, he was very rebellious. So even his parents told him not to marry a Congolese woman. They called Congolese woman. Let's hope that guy didn't hit my car. um, he was rebellious, so he got married to Katya's mom. Okay. And then fascinating. One day I told her, I said, oh, your dad is a businessman. You guys live in $1 million house. I want to talk to him. I didn't know all this information. I didn't know anything about his business dealing. All I know, her dad is a businessman and they live in a big mansion. That's all I knew. And I was going to visit her and want to talk to her dad about business. I get there and the guy shows me when he was in Liberia for 14 years. Okay? And I'm like, this is a small world we live in. And he showed me like how he had his market down waterside. Oh my goodness. And the buildings. And I was blown away. And I asked him, I said, why are Lebanese so successful in Liberia? He said, because Lebanese know they're there for business. No, but they not go there for pleasure. They not go there to be drinking palm wine. Not the business. They go there for goals. They set goals and they go to achieve it. But then he said, the people the people doing business there treat those there because the government allows it. And then I started to dig a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper. And I went deeper and I obtained the information I actually needed. And he relocated his business to Congo. That's how he met his wife, which is my friend Katia's mom. And so and so and so and so and and it's not just troubling to me. Some of the things that I found out. And that's why when people talk about laws and things like that, it's who reinforcing or enforcing these rules and or laws. Because if you had the right regulatory body for let's say inspection, you would go to restaurant and inspect. If you have the right regulatory bodies for labor practices, you will know what they need to do. But you don't. And then you expect people to follow things. How can they follow things when nobody's reinforcing or enforcing them? Oh, simple. All I can do is, um, you know, I'll give that man cold water. Leave that man, man. When I thought to get in, I didn't know what to do. I cursed them. I just get them cold water when they come. But are they even going to go there? So the problems are complex. But yeah, I am. I'm letting you know there are problems, complex problems. But you need to create a table where you can sit and eat and then invite others to eat. Then you have power that way. But you can sit and give excuses why the people are doing and you do nothing and give excuses all the time. It does not work. You create space for employment. If you feel there's no employment in the country, what are you doing as a person, as a business person, or even entrepreneur, or as a curious mind, or somebody with skills? What are you doing to empower them and for you to get them out of the situation that you don't like? We move to the next comment. Oh my God, I feel like I appreciate. Oh my God, I appreciate. Okay, we haven't done it. That's why we need to start supporting that. This is going to support our people instead. Brenda, most people on my channel knows I don't support foreign businesses in Liberia specifically. All hospitality business, I don't support that. I refuse to spend my money there. Most people always say, "Oh my God, why you don't go to this place?" I say, "Oh my dear, that place not Liberian owned. I have not done any research that indicate Liberian person put money here, so I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I go to local supermarket that they sell things in Liberian. I go in there. I do the best I can. 100% of the time, do I 100% of the time only buy from Liberians, but the options are not there. But if the options were there, you better believe that's the only place I'll be buying. But majority of what I do in Liberia is to support Liberians. That's it. Okay? That's it. Anyway, Um, Liberian, most of us not get sense. Oh, I beg you don't let me laugh, please. I rest my case. I don't think you need to be so harsh. We have sense, okay? Some of us have sense. It's just I rest my case. Isn't Lebanon except in the economic crisis back on like bank robberies every level of bad? Of course, they themselves know. Like my friend Katya dad, he had properties and he told me like, oh, I can't move my money. I want to move my money somewhere else. That's why most of them, they first of all, most of them don't establish bank account in Liberia. Let me just tell you the secret right now. Maybe some of y'all already knew. They don't establish bank account. They keep their money in their houses. That's why when you go to Lebanese stores, they have stores and they have the money in their houses. They keep that money. They take their money back to the country or put it in other reserves and all that. Okay, that's besides the point. Um, hey man, look at this coming. Okay. Now, if Liberians have had if Liberians have a bad reputation of doing good work, then they need to fix that and compete. No, absolutely. I think that we need to we need to establish loyalty. That's the first thing. And by loyalty, I'm talking about from the standpoint of business owners. Okay, we need to assess some of our business practices. That's the second thing. We need to be able to provide services that people need. And if we have not provided those services, we need to go back to modify. Because the thing is, in Liberia, if a Lebanese man fail at first customer service or perhaps price point, you still go back to the shop. But if a Liberian man fails, you don't want to go back there. Okay. And consequently, that Liberian man who has his or a Liberian woman who has their business, they need to find ways to modify and correct their mistakes. But they also need to be given the chance, a second chance. So many times I go somewhere and I don't get good customer service from a Liberian person. I come back and say, look, my sister is how you need to talk to me now. Let's try it. Let's practice. I do that. It's a funny thing, but I know I need to promote them because some of them don't have the tools. Okay, and I'm not giving. I don't like excuses, by the way. But I go there to some of these places and I just try to be funny, educate them on how certain things are supposed to be, how I want to be treated. Perhaps how they're supposed to do certain parts of the businesses. And so yes, I 100% agree that we Liberians need to up ourselves. We need to arm ourselves with resources to educate ourselves on how to go about some of the business practices that we carry on. Um, Somebody asked me about beach lane match. I will slap you. Ah, yes, empowering Liberian business is very crucial. Yes, true. We have been taught to hate ourselves and to destroy unity. Yeah, yeah. Yes, and Liberians are so quick to talk down on ourselves. If the house don't sell you, the market won't buy us. Please dive into the networking. Of course, I will. They talk about Liberia negatively. Again, this lady is not from Liberia, but I will come to build there and live or do business to move us out. Yes. Yes, on some global gentrification type ish, definitely great opportunities in Liberia. Absolutely. Someone was online talking about how people should go to Liberia and how it's bad, and then she said she hadn't been there for 10 years. It's so ironic when people who have yet to visit this place in like God knows how many years start to say these things. It's like, wow, you still live in the 1940s. Or actually, still live in God knows what what year, Is there still available beach land in like Marshall? I'll sleep on that. I don't know. Lots of Africans are starting to go to Liberia because of the opportunities. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I think there's more visibility. It's becoming more visible. Before then, you could see just those things on the media, and the media it plays a huge role in really showing or showcasing what a country has to offer. Because now more YouTubers are out there, more people are writing publications, more people are writing things, whether negative or positive. My point is there's more visibility, and so people are going now to see for themselves. And some of us have played a role. Like even for me, if I have reached 5 people that are doing projects in Liberia, I feel like I'm successful there because it changed somebody's mind, or it allowed another person to think critically and make decisions for themselves instead of relying on information that they received some time ago. So that's what we have to do as people. You don't need to lie to people and say there are no issues. Look, there are barriers to progress, but you have to find means to get around those barriers or to remove those barriers, okay? And even if it requires you to study, but to kind of place out because of barriers or because X, Y, and Z persons from there, they said no, it's not a good place to go. I think you're doing a disservice to yourself because now you're not thinking for yourself, you're thinking for what he or she, John, Paul, negative Nancy said. Um, there are good real estate opportunities in Nemba County. Nimba County Concession Center. So the land space down there is actually really booked. So I don't know the border of where some of the empty spaces would be. But like Nimba County is a very progressive county. Um, you have opportunities there for like commercial real estate. I would say commercial real estate, like in a sense of like building spaces to lease out for business purpose. That's a good option. Um, Somalia has the biggest mall and business in South Minneapolis, Minnesota. They're big on helping their own people. Oh yeah, Somalians. That's why they always say, man, they have so many Somalians. Yeah, well, yeah, the people are helping each other out there. Somalia, Somalia. Oh yeah, no, okay. Nothing anonymous, autonomous government. You said it because there's competition. Zambia, yes, that's the place. I think these people are brave to treat the locals like that because they have that higher governmental backings. They do. They do, and that's just the fact. Uh, where there is financial backings, let me just put it that way, that's where you see a privilege, okay? It's even reflected in the great United States here. Cities like the Beverly Hills, okay? How much money do you think they bring to the county of Los Angeles? Surplus, maybe. So if a specific group of people are coming together, they don't usually come by them as an individual, they come as a group. They come and form businesses, and then they're paying taxes, even if as SS, they will get backings. I have Indian friends, business colleagues with the Blue Crest University. And I asked them, I said, what's your secret to doing well in Liberia? They said, we just have a community. We give what the government needs in taxes. Of course, I'm not naive. I'm not naive. The only thing is because of taxes. But partially to that statement is we provide benefit, right? Therefore, we get what we need. Some people could say, well, maybe the government can make things fair. Well, if Liberians from the diaspora was coming in group and forming a committee or business network, then they would have the same power. But when we individualize things, it's a little tough. You can go against one person, but it's hard to go against a group. Do you get that? And a lot of these people come in group. They don't come by themselves. What we want to do is have our own little businesses. Even if it's sustainable or not, it's okay. There's not a sense of community. So even these so-called government officials, when Indian people are having events, they're there. They have the backings. And that's another topic because it's highly political. And my point is, I just ask these people who are doing well for secrets and try to move accordingly. We move. Oh, yeah, you'll be added. You'll be added to the networking. Okay. Trivia fact: Ethiopia is a name given by ancient Greeks. The ancient name for the country was Asobania. What? I don't know. Abyssania. Maybe I'm not saying that right. That is it. Modern day slavery with less pay, less everything than triple price and profit. Absolutely. Thanks for loving my honesty. This is what they do in the U.S. and enforce a fine. Exactly. You know, when I was doing my graduate program, we used to be sent to we were asked in my program evaluation class. So I used to go to restaurant and hospitals, and I would have the benchmarks and also the checklist of things we were looking for. So restaurants in California, Los Angeles, and some part of Northern California, I would give them a B or A based on criteria, and we rated them. We went by our business. If your restaurant fall within the C category, you were down as a business because you were not complying with regulatory standards. It's a simple thing. The same can be applicable in Liberia, but like I said, don't get me started because this topic heats me up. Some of these things are so doable. Like, we used to do these things, but guess what? Students doing this stuff is save the county money. Cause you know what? We're free. They don't have to pay us. We did those things. We did those things. Give them ratings based on the standard that is set. Good to see you too. The standard that is set, and all I would do, go to the restaurant, go to the back room, go to the kitchen, make sure that everything check the ceiling to make sure that were no mold, all those things, rated them, give them a grade, and went by my business. Now if the state came as a C restaurant, if you're open, they shut you down forever and ever. It's reinforcement, and things have to be enforced. They are not doing the same thing. When I went to Dignity Health, before I did their project, the wait time at the emergency room was an average of 46 minutes to an even hour. Why must a person, most emergency room in the United States, you go there and you probably will be dead inside before they see you. When we would go do some of these ratings and assessment, they were taking patient too long. And some of the things I pointed out, the moment you check in, a nurse is probably having different conversation. There's something that's blocking, and now all this time are accumulating. All these times are accumulating, and then when we do project, it go to 32 minutes, to 18 minutes, to 12 minutes, and you wonder, these are just process improvement that needs to be done. But then you go to library, you wonder like, well, no enforcement because there's no enforcement. Hello. And let me tell y'all, when my restaurant is open, y'all better believe all staff will have net on their head because I don't know no hair in anybody's food. They're gonna make sure they have gloves, but that starts with the leadership. That is the point I'm making today. That is the point. So I'm not advertising my restaurant yet. We move, and I will become my own inspector for my restaurant because I'm not depending on anyone to do that because there's none. It's there, but they don't enforce. So as a person who's very health conscious, I will inspect. I'll make sure the kitchen is clean all the time. The restroom is clean. Like, these are things that are very necessary, and these are easy things that done. So me as a leader who's running such a business, I'm already very well versed with this. Why can't I become my own inspector? Absolutely. Best practice. That's why you have benchmark. and it need to be enforced. That is the problem. Let's say I went to a restaurant right now in Liberia. Most restaurants in Liberia, God have mercy. I don't want to talk plenty right now because we're trying to what? Improve. But let's say I went to a restaurant and it was a C. Right now, let's just say I'm collecting information. It's a C rating. I'll give you the C rating and I'll tell you what you need to improve. Then I will come and do a follow up, maybe a quarterly follow up, or perhaps since it's a C and people could die, I would do a monthly follow up or perhaps 2 weeks follow up to see if you actually improve. If you improve, you probably go to a C plus. Then we'll give you another criteria to go to a B, B minus, B plus, A minus, A plus. You get the drift. But you must have me now doing that follow up, and that's missing. It's missing. Completely it's missing. So we're just not there. Okay. Where is it? You guys, my hand is getting tired. Okay, this mistreatment will never happen in neighboring Ghana. The authorities are in those foreign business owners' pockets, so nothing will be enforced. I think we got the point. Chico, I have heard of that happening in Ghana too. With an Asian boss berating her worker in front of customers. Yeah, let me just be clear about this. What I don't see happening in Ghana is this though. The kind of employees each business entity is required to have. I do see the mistreatment, however, in Ghana. The difference, however, you can file a complaint, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, something actually gets done. Okay? At least from my experience. Okay? From my experience. Something eventually gets done. It's not immediate, but as a person, you follow up with it. And then, yes, eventually it gets done. Um, yeah, the locals will always have to, they feel that they have to pull up with bad bosses because, again, the opportunities are not vast. We don't create opportunities for ourselves. And we understand where it is. We're just hoping to change, even if it's not 100% change, at least that we know we're doing our best and we can actually do our best and create a table that people can actually sit and eat with us. And that even if it's in the sense of job creation, mentorship, and having someone to create a table for themselves, that's what it should be about. Because I mean, 200 years from now, there will still be, obvious inequality, there will be still, you will still see issues. But at the end of the day, you know that there is a form of improvement, and that's what's needed. Even in the US here, bad bosses, they will make your life a living hell. Living hell. Some people, they stick to it, I cannot find anything better. Well, that's good for you. But you do still have it, but the difference is you can file a complaint depending on where you are. If that is that person's business, good luck to trying to, you go around, around, and around, and around. But my point is, you will always have inequalities and all of these things happening within an institution. But at least you are making conscious effort to resolve some of the issues. And of course, it won't be all of it. One person can change everything, but a little bit of effort to change can yield result from 0 to even 0.1 is a change. That's all I'm saying. My dear, whenever I talk about Marshall, people still keep asking me. I don't know if you're gonna make me upset. But I'm not gonna get upset. I just don't prefer Marshall because the court cases in that place is a lot, and I think that it's not worth your headache because since 1974 or 1970, one of my aunts who was actually really older, she told me, she said, Marsha, I've had this problem since 1970. So you coming in here 2023 to think like gonna purchase a land that was probably bought 1960? Who are you gonna be fighting? Your ancestors? I don't know. I'm just not interested in having Marshall Beachland conversation. Um, like others, countries aren't bad, but USA want to talk about that and then portray only the bad in other places. Why do you think every time you see why do you think every time you see on the TV they have like kids begging for food in Africa? But they have the same problem here too. Um, Emma, so good to see you, girl. So good to see you too. I haven't seen you in a long time. Have you done talks, interviews with other Liberian YouTubers like Rhoda, you were a Showcase of Liberia? Yes, I've actually had a conversation with Showcase of Liberia. We actually have a group. It's her Showcase and Angeline. We have a little women's group, and so we encourage each other. We share ideas, and we check in. We check in. We check in. Rhoda, I did reach out to her one time. I recall. I reached out to her one time when I have not established certain things, and it was just like whatever. Then I established my area, which is like the Uber like app that was established in Liberia. And then the conversation started to to shift a little. I don't do that. I don't play that. You're not gonna respond to me when I have not established anything. Goodbye. Anyway, we move. But yeah, I'm trying to speak with other YouTubers, of course, when I have the time. Not I haven't been on live since last year, so this is why I'm on live today. But yes, when I do have that time, I want to speak with. I just been monitoring. She speaks too. I mean, initially I didn't like something she was saying, but to each their own. But I mean, I think I've commented on her stuff recently, and I'm looking to actually have a conversation off camera with her first to kind of get her perspective, although I don't agree with certain things, and then see where it goes. Okay. Yes, Stephanie Satya. Hey, Emma, best practices need to be included in enforcement, of course. Yeah, she is a nice person. We actually met in Liberia twice. I attended her event that she had. We distributed some items. I donated and all that. And then the second time we met was with Angeline. We met at a restaurant. I was on a live, so I'm cool with her. Like I said, she's a really nice person. She's a sweet person. Please support her channel. And uh, yes. Let me talk about this. Okay. So yes, fair enough. Did I hear you right? You've established. I did establish an app. Most people probably know about it or probably don't. It's called My Area. My Area app was established as an entrepreneur. This is something that I've learned, and that's why I talk to you guys about risk and failure. I have learned this not the hard way, but in a more methodical way. Like when my area was established, that was when the coronavirus just started. And when we look in the business plan, we saw that our target audience were no longer traveling. So the app opened in August when the app was launched in August, we had a good September and October. Then COVID peaked and people stopped traveling. Then you saw a reduction in request of rides, just like Uber. That's how it worked. Request of ride and all that, and so I had to pause that business. I have since evaluated, and I have some good plans, and I just leave it like that. When the right time comes, when I assess the right time to get back into the market, we move. But you have to come back to basics, okay? Instead of having drivers who will otherwise tell me, oh, Emma, it's too dark to go outside to go pick up people. I have a new strategy. I have a new strategy to where I will have to control that, so I don't have to go looking for drivers. I would just have I just have a different plan, which I cannot discuss it until it's all done, and then I can get back to the market. But that idea is very much alive. Okay. Anyway, um, yes, I'm staying far away from Marshall. Interested in Bassa, my home county. Oh my God, I love Grand Bassa. I do farming there. I also have some water properties there, and I'm looking to have my fourth community in Grand Bassa actually. But that fourth community will only start in 2 years by God's grace. I pray for long life because these other communities need to get going so I can say, oh, at least my projects are up. Now I'm going to other parts of the country. But Grand Bassa is number 4 on my list. I just love Grand Bassa, honestly. When I can get out of Monterrey where it's so crowded, I just love it. I love it. So, yes, go to Grand Bassa. You won't have a lot of issues. Well, from my experience, you won't have a lot of issues because it's a virgin area and you won't be having that conflict. And most people are not looking to develop outside of Marvel, which is actually really interesting to me. But at least you're out of Monterrey and Mangibi. Okay. Okay. Should Liberians study the practices of other nationalities and how they build businesses community overseas to bring well back home? Is there an audience for a book to be written on the topic? You can do a feasibility study. You can do some studies to ensure that you are getting the right data, collect data, and don't go by they say and I say and all that. Um, some of the practices you don't have to necessarily model exactly as is, or perhaps you may not even want to reinvent the wheel, but what you could reinvent, or you could say the audience I'm approaching is very different from where I'm at. Do you understand that? So if the idea is great, you need to tailor it to where you are taking it. So that's where this thing comes into play. Like I was referencing earlier, if you inspect a building for X, Y, and Z, common practice is the whole building needs to be free of mold. Wherever you are, that needs to occur. But some things may not be applicable in other locations. So you kind of want to tailor those things to meet your needs for other places. Like I tell people all the time, when you are doing business in Africa, time and people appearing on time is probably not something you need to stress about, because you know what, there is a place where time is not too much of a problem versus in the United States. In Italy, people can be late an hour and y'all will meet and smile. In the US, you are 2 minutes late, your employer can say go home. Again, a 2 minute hypothetically. But my point is, well, in the US, time really is of essence and they really value it, and businesses need to ensure that you're on time and blah blah blah. But when you're in Africa, to be honest with you, that person you're gonna be meeting with, they're gonna be 2 hours late. You'll be like, oh my God, as an American, like, oh God, you're late. You're late. I don't like it. You're late. That is one thing you will probably have to tailor to your business practice when you're there. Do you understand that? Um, some things you can take from the Western society, but you just got to tailor it to where you are to meet the needs of where you are. When I started the app, I understand Liberia operates on a cash-based economy. Most African countries are cash-based. Eventually, we'll head to where it becomes cashless, but it won't be 100% cashless because even in America, you can pay with cash. But when I started this app, we use gift card. So you purchase a gift card wherever the gift card was sold, Then you get a number, insert the number in your app, and you request your ride to prevent cash the driver. The, the. Does Uber have that in the app? Absolutely not. But I had to tailor that because of where I'm at. So that's an example that needs to be done. If you're doing business or anything you want to do in Africa, you just have to tailor it to where you are. We moved. Okay. It's almost time for dinner. Okay, let's see. Oh, Grandpasta. Hey, Miss Williams. Okay. My area. It's called my area. I know. So maybe some of you guys have heard of my area, but if you even go to the Facebook page, my area was it's my area. Hmm. But the dream is still alive. Not the dream. The goal is to still get back in the market at the right time. How long does it take to get to Bassett from Monrovia? My grandmother resided there. Okay. So from Habel, which is like Firestone area, airport area, it took us 30 minutes to head to the part of Grand Bassa we were recently. And then from that portion, that 30-minute distance to Buchanan would take 40 minutes. So if you're looking at roughly an hour, 15 minutes from the airport to Buchanan, from the airport to from the airport to Monrovia, it could take you 45 minutes to an hour depending on time. So all in all, if you're going to Buchanan from Monrovia, you're looking at 2 hours plus drive depending on the time. Typically when I need to get somewhere in a good time frame, I wake up like 5 a.m. to make sure I leave and leave that point by 6 a.m. in order to be able to get to my destination as early as I can. Um, do you think most of those old buildings in Liberia can be renovated and they've been knocked down? Oh my God, I really wish they could paint. That's the first thing I wish they could paint, but they don't like to paint. I think that uh Brush Street, that area, they should knock those buildings down. Um, that's what I think. I think we need a lift because since the war and all that, the structures are not up to standard, I would say. So yeah, those old buildings need to be broken down and it need to be what maintained. I think one of Liberia's biggest problem when it comes to these things is maintenance. You can build a nice place, and then in the next 6 months, it's not maintained. One, who's telling people to clean anyway? It comes back to accountability and leadership, a lack thereof. Really, really. It's funny because when I got to Liberia after the requirement for COVID vaccination card, I met the lady who's in charge of the airport. And in 5 minutes, I gave her an elevator speech on how we can improve process of people when they come in, they get their credentials and they go do the immigration. I gave her a breakdown. She was like, and I'm thinking to myself, it's not rocket science. It's not. To time each person on that line, to time them how long they're taking to check them in, and what you need to do is the staff. You have two staff here checking people in to go to immigration, but the reason you're taking long because they're talking. So you need to address that talking first. It's just a simple thing. Address the talking first and make them and let them know you have 2 minutes to take care of this person X, Y, and Z, and see how the flow goes. It's just a simple process. But when I go to the window and John is talking to Peter, and now my needs are not being taken care of, the people in the back will wait 30 minutes because now I have to go when they're done talking. That is just a simple process. It needs to be improved. Then they go to immigration. The immigration is also quiet and doing their job and not on their phones. Then we all leave the airport early. But how can that ever be improved when Everybody sits at the window and talk about their personal business. Simple improvement. Yeah, America said time is money. Absolute time is money, indeed. Rwanda, the best example a leader can set is by showcasing themselves. Okay, I can tell you I need to collect $5 from you, but I haven't had the time to put $5 in the basket. I can tell you to sweep your yard when you go to my yard, you see trash. So in Rwanda, the president, Paul Kagame, he walks the street and they clean. It's not because he needs to do it. He doesn't. But do you know what it does? He's a model agent. He's modeling it. So when citizens see, oh, but the president is cleaning. So the requirement to clean, people will automatically have it in their head that the leader is cleaning, therefore they need to clean. It's a common sense thing. That's why many of you guys go to church. When you go to church, when somebody is putting money in the box, like, oh my God, I don't have offering. My sister, you have offering? It's because your mind tells you you should do it. You don't have it, you feel bad because somebody else is doing it. The president, he walks with his wife and they clean the street. It's an example that he sets. A leader who talks about people shouldn't be late is late 4 hours. What example are you setting? What if you want to be an exemplary leader, you have to set the example. And that is what that to me, when people ask me like bro problem, I say like bro has two problems. Only two problems. Leadership and accountability. Finish. I don't care what you want to talk about road, you want to talk about trees, you want to talk about light, you want to talk about this. Because if these two things were in place, you will have light, leadership, accountability if the people who are to do that job they're not doing it, allocation of funds and resources, accountability. But it starts with leadership, then accountability. Those are the two problems. Two problems. I don't care how you want to flip it, turn it, flip it. It's two problems. Two problems. So these are the things that needs to be addressed. That is it. And leadership is not easy. That's why there's a difference between a leader and a manager. A leader empowers people, follow them. Management is like taking care just for the time being for people to be there. We have we don't even have assistant supervisors in Liberia. We have practicing assistant supervisors. So don't get it twisted. You're not even at the supervisory level. You're not even at the assistant. You are practicing to be an assistant. That's what's happening to the whole country. So in order for things to move along, we need to find the root cause, and we've already found the root cause. But how do we get from finding root cause? When you find a root cause, you find solutions. You cannot find the root cause and sit on it. It needs to be executed. And we lack accountability. Who's accountable for not turning on the light? Who's gonna make that person to be accountable when there's no leader there? It's a simple math. It's such a simple math. It's so hard to solve. Anyway, these things, it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. But I'm very encouraged by Liberians who are taking upon themselves, whether it's a gradual process or not, they're taking the initiative to help shape the narrative. And that's what's important. On this life, I am sweating. because I refuse to make this car make noise. And then I get so cold so fast. I'm like, I hope I'm not going through menopause, but I'm not. I'm not. But anyway, I gotta go. I need to go to dinner and I need to work. Um, it really has been a pleasure. I know I haven't been on here for a long time, so I'm really glad to have come on here and talk my dear Liberian series to ya. So this is part one. Part two is pending. We're going to be talking more on this channel, and I would like to have more guests on the platform, to share their own experience and talk about some solutions. I mean, the first step is to identify and then accept that you have a problem. That's the first step. And then the second thing is to see how best you can deal with it. So when we talk about these things, we are all just trying to find solutions, and by identifying and actually executing. Because we all can sit on YouTube and talk all day, my people. We can really just sit here and talk all day. But what are the visible solutions? And or even invisible solutions that we are providing? Because some things don't need to be publicized. All of these things that we all do play a key role. So if you're encouraging, if you're in these rooms talking to young folks, if you're mentoring, if you're even building, even if you haven't gone any place further, the idea that you thought about putting something down, it's okay. It's okay. Hey OC, I'm here in Glendale. Hey. Just the fact that you have decided to pitch in on the development process is good. I always tell people when I go for my run, I hike and I run 4 to 7 miles a day, depending on if I'm not hiking the trails. I always tell friends who wants to go with me that you are doing a lot better than those who are sitting on the couch. So whether you go at a slower pace or not, you are doing mm, a lot better than people who are just in the bed. Oh, I want to lose weight. I want to do this, but they're just sitting. You are doing a lot better. Therefore, if you just have a corner store, you decide I'm going to brush. You are doing a lot better. If you have a land, you decide I'm going to fence. You are doing a lot better. If you have a land, you're thinking about ideas. You are doing a lot better. If you call a student a mentor, then you are doing a lot better. If you decide to not be negative, you are doing a lot better. If somebody try to be negative about Liberia and you decide, mm, you are doing a lot better. Any positive impact you make doesn't have to be large. It can start small and it can grow big. If somebody does something for you in Liberia, just to say thank you for X, Y, and Z, you are doing a lot better. If you send somebody somewhere and they deliver it, you tell them thank you for delivering this. Whenever someone does something good, especially my staff, hey, thank you for executing the project in this time frame. You are doing a lot better. If you can comment on positive thing a person does, you are doing a lot better. And then when you have somebody who made a mistake, you don't say, "Oh my God, you're so stupid." You're so stupid. You ask them, "What did you think you did wrong today? Do you think you improved on the project? What can we improve next time?" Then you give them that room to reflect, and then you say, "Okay, let's set goals, or this is how we can do it better as a leader." Every Friday, I have meetings with my staff. Every Friday, and the first thing I ask them, what did we go right this week? Blah 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 blah. Okay, so what can you improve this? What would have been more? What could you have improved over the time of the course of our project? And they listen and listen. I say, okay, thank you. You know what to do. I'm here if you have any questions. And then we establish goals, and they need to be checked and followed through on. That's how you build people. Each time you do that, you are doing a lot better. If you can tell someone thank you, you are still doing a lot better. Okay? That is it. We are going to do a lot better. So let's include this in our daily practices, okay? That when we see somebody doing something, even if there's some level of failure within it, we pinpoint the positive that the person is doing. And this goes a long way, a long way. Even if you are the boss of your company or you are the leader of X, Y, and Z. And it's not to say you won't get frustrated. God knows I get frustrated. Oh, God. Some people get frustrated. Ah. Sometimes I want to quit. But then I tell myself there's a bigger goal that needs to be accomplished. Then I fall back. And then I keep going. And then I get frustrated again. Then I remember the goal. But you don't quit. Many people quit in Liberia because they just cannot keep going, they feel like. But you give up, you're giving up on Liberia, you're giving up on yourself. Because that's where you're from, regardless of if you go to the moon or you come back to Earth, you will be from there. You can go hide behind Donald Trump, you're still from there. Thank you, Stephanie. You are doing a lot better. Thank you, Stephanie. You have been one of the best members in our group. You are so positive, and I like your optimism and how you just do the best you can to contribute to the positive nature of the group. And Miss Elizabeth here also joined. She's so positive and wanting to see the best for Liberia. She's also in our community development. Some of you are watching who are in the community development. So I'm so grateful for all of you. These community development would not be where they are if I didn't have people who are like-minded looking to help develop our country. So always thanks to all of you. Thanks to the team back home. I can't say this enough. Emmanuel, I always tell him, he and Joseph, they are the backbone of those two community developments. And I remind them all the time. And when we see failure coming along, we have to just pinpoint where it is and blame fault doesn't solve problems, it creates most problems. So we just pinpoint the positive and improve on the areas that we need to improve. And that's what we need to do as leaders. Um, no quitters, no quitters. We don't quit. um, okay, you're helping to bring change to can't wait to worry about it. That's all you do. Okay. All right, you guys, take care. I need to go eat. I don't know if it's gonna be Thai or Italian, but next week I plan to cook Liberian food though, because I'm going to. Hey, Elizabeth, I will be coming to Gardenia next week to purchase some food. Maybe we could arrange to have tea or lunch or something. Any opinions on the upcoming election? Liberia, do you think business policies and regulations will be better or worse? Oh God. Okay, that's a very good political question. Um, I don't know. I'm really just observing the climate of this whole thing, what's going on, and of course the election tricks, buying people's votes, and I just always I leave it to God, really, the state of this election and others to come. I really leave it to God, and I pray for a leader who loves the country. Somebody who really cares about Liberia is who I pray for. Because at the end of the day, if it's only your self-interest, you will pretend and pretend and pretend and just won't get anything done. So that is my prayer and my sincere hope that Lord brings somebody who's deeply, deeply can display their patriotism. That when you drive, as a leader, you see people on the street begging, you see people without electricity, you see people with fewer jobs or no jobs. You sit within yourself to see how you can better. That is my prayer. Nothing else. That is my prayer. Regardless of who the leader is, you must be patriotic to a point where you want to see better for your country. Where you fly to a different place and you see how everything is, but you come to your country and you are still content with how things are. Troubling. Troubling. We will. Okay, guys. Yes, Verna, I look forward to having you be a part of this development that we talk about. It was a really good conversation I had with you today, and whatever you're trying to do is part of the solution that we are looking to capitalize on. So continue that. And Liberia is your second home. Well, Jamaica, U.S. third. That's it. So definitely look forward to working with you and just seeing how best we can all, contribute to society. And that's the optimal definition of happiness. When we can help and impact the lives of others, we've achieved happiness. Really, that to me is the true definition. I mean, happiness is flame because you're like, I love this person today, and you're happy. But when you can truly make an impact in somebody's life, the joy that comes with it. Voila. Okay, take care, guys. Be blessed. I gotta go. Gotta go. Do my makeup. Bye bye.